welcome to In Focus, and today I have for you three cameras, and these three cameras are the Red Komodo, the Canon EOS R3, and the Sigma FP making a comeback. I'm sweating in here, so if I look like I'm sweating, then I am, because I am. And the reason why the Sigma's here is because, well, I used to own that camera for, let me think, about 2 or so years ago. I got it when it was brand new, fresh out, and I parted ways with it. But since I've parted ways, there's been some 4 different firmware updates on the Sigma FP. So my question is it a better camera today than it was when it was first released? Have these firmware updates given the Sigma FP a rejuvenation, a pump new life into that body? So all 3 of these cameras are set up. They are right in front of me, and hopefully they're all in focus. I do not worry about the Canon, of course, because I have the ability to just set that for autofocus, and I forget about it. Once a Canon is set for autofocus, I know that it is going to get focus every single time. So there's no concerns with the Canon. The Sigma is a really more of a manual focus camera. It does have autofocus, but it's a kind of autofocus that you're going to hit once. And so a single tap autofocus, and then after that point, you are going to be, well, you should be in focus. It takes a while. It hunts. The Sigma is going to hunt when it's pulling focus, so you wouldn't want to use it in a continual type autofocus situation because it's not going to look very pleasing for your video. So when I use a Sigma FP, what I'm doing is I'm tapping that focus point once before I start my shoot, and then I wait for it to get focus, and then I start recording. And I try to set a deep enough depth of field so that if I need to move around, I can, and hopefully my subject is within that plane of focus so that they're more or less in focus the entire time. Now with the Red Komodo, it does actually have, I would say, the second best autofocus out of these 3 cameras. It's not hard to do since the Canon is obviously solidly #1. So all 3 cameras, soak this up, are recording right now. They're all in their highest quality recording mode. The Canon is recording in 6K RAW. The Red Komodo, of course, is its default 6K RAW, and the Sigma FP is being recorded in 4K externally to a SSD. Are we at that point where it's near enough as makes no difference? And we could be. I think we are. I think if you get any one of these cameras and you are thoughtful with how you expose and you know, your subject placement, your framing, you're probably going to get the results you want. If your lighting is decent, you're probably going to get the results that you're looking for. So with that in mind, I reached out to the folks at Sigma, and they sent me out a kitted up Sigma FP with about 5 different lenses, and I decided to set out and do some filming with the Sigma FP. So the Sigma FP's party trick has always been the fact that it's very small. As a matter of fact, the Sigma FP is, I believe, still considered the smallest full-frame camera that you can actually buy, and that's kind of a big deal. So I wanted to keep it small. And that means that I didn't want to hook anything to it. I didn't want to rock a cage. I didn't want to have any huge microphones or external hard drives or monitors, anything hanging off that camera. I just wanted the camera, but there was a problem. The Sigma FP has no image stabilization built in, that is no IBIS, and for that reason, it can be a pretty shaky proposition. So I bought a small gimbal, and I attached the Sigma FP to this gimbal and decided to go out and shoot with it. I like the results. I think that the weight, the size of the camera really do make it very, very adaptable to small gimbals. And I will stress the word small gimbals, because when you get into large gimbals, it becomes very heavy, very quickly, and very uncomfortable to carry for any period of time. And furthermore, it becomes a thing that you don't want to carry. You need a real reason to take it. So you would never casually take, say, a Ronin RS3 or RS2 or anything like that with you, because they're just too big. They require too much work and too much setup. So the idea of just having this very small camera that you can pop on a gimbal and go with is very appealing. Now some of you may recall that Sigma FP only records in 4K Cinema DNG if you are connected to an external hard drive, or if you're outputting to, say, an Atomos Ninja or a Blackmagic Video Assist. And I didn't want to use either of these, even though I have them. So instead, all of this footage, all of it, is shot in Cinema DNG in full HD and up-resed to 4K. And because the size of everything was so small, I was able to pair Sigma's 65mm DG DN lens with a small SLR Magic anamorphic adapter, and that's how I was able to shoot these next scenes that you're watching. So enjoy the footage, comment below what you think of it, and also, did you figure out which camera was which in the earlier segment? Let me know in the comments below. Enjoy, and I will catch you next time. Just stay that distance.